How's it going, speedsters? Welcome to a brand new Flash Season 5 video. Now, this video is kind of somewhat of a theory video, or breaking it down in the best of my ability anyway, but I'm going to need some of your help down in the comments below, because no matter what we kind of say or do, we won't know till we know about this information. And yes, of course, I'm talking about what we kind of learn about Barry's future in regards to a certain newspaper article in the Time Vault. But obviously, if you haven't seen the episode yet, go and watch the episode so you know exactly what I'm talking about, because I'm going to be reading out that whole newspaper article. And of course, guys, if you missed my review as well, the link to that will be in the cards above, as well as my trailer breakdown for next week's episode is already up as well by the time you're watching this video. Now, obviously, that news article I'm talking about in the Time Vault was the one that Nora showed Barry, where he's still missing in crisis 25 years later in 2049. Because I guess, like Team Flash, up until this moment, and this is what a lot of people are saying, the 2024 whole crisis event has been somewhat of like a plot holy thing on the show. When and will it get addressed kind of thing. And you have to think that Team Flash, I guess they just assumed in the back of their minds, writing or comic book logic style here, is like, oh, well, I guess, you know, yeah, this is a newspaper article, what we've been referencing to in terms of, is the future still intact? But I guess I come back next week after that or something like that. I'm sure Cisco will pull me out the Speed Force or wherever the hell I am. But no, they finally addressed it in the premiere, and Nora's just like, yeah, like, you were around, but I don't have memories of it because you disappeared when I was so young, and you kind of never came back, Dad. So, And then, of course, guys, at the end of the episode, we got the whole, my name is Nora Allen, and I'm gonna freaking sort my dad out and find him and pluck him from the, prevent him. Yeah. No, but really, the end of the episode definitely insinuates that she's trying to prevent Barry going missing in the Crisis, or like the CW's version of the Crisis on Infinite Earth storyline. But there are so many interesting things in this 2049 news article that people have like typed it out to the best of their ability. It does seem like it is what it says. It wasn't too blurry this time around, so we really could read what it says, and it just revealed some really cool stuff about potentially Batwoman even being on Earth 1. So what I'm going to do is actually read out the article that we saw in the first episode of The Flash, and then let's talk about it from there. It was a beautiful spring day in Central City, not so different from that morning years ago when the clear blue sky turned a crimson red and the Scarlet Speedster vanished in a crisis. Thousands gathered here at the Flash Museum today to commemorate that day's quarter-century anniversary. Names were read of the other victims of the attack, and Governor Singh gave remarks on the Flash's enduring legacy. The details of the disappearance remain murky. A 2026 Congressional Commission repeated the citizens' initial reporting. Hours after the sky turned red, the Flash and his allies fought the Reverse Flash. The ensuing street battle caused the most destruction the city had ever seen. It was not until the Flash and the Reverse Flash disappeared in an explosion of light that the chaos ceased. But in the recent years following the crisis, accounts only grew more contradictory. Some eyewitnesses remember dozens of other heroes present, including Green Arrow, Batwoman, and Elongated Man. Others remember heroes thought lost in time like the Atom, or from other worlds like Supergirl. Some even contend they saw the Reverse Flash leading an army of shadow demons. Research is focused on Roger Hayden, aka Psycho Pirate, who claims to remember the night's true events. He said upon arrest, "Worlds lived, worlds die, nothing will ever be the same." And nothing ever was. Staring up at the golden statue of the Flash, this reporter remembered the words of a former police chief, Joe West. We don't have many details. What we do know tonight is Central City's greatest protector has vanished in a flash. I only hope he returns just as quickly. Now, this new article that Nora showed Barry actually teased us with quite a few things, some really cool. Now, I'm going to dive straight to the most interesting one, because since Batwoman is obviously one of the most popular things talked about in the minute, considering the new Batwoman image dropped the other day, and there's my video on it. No, but really, everyone has been wondering, is Batwoman on Earth 1? Is she on Earth 38? Or is she on her own different Earth? But what was said is that Batwoman, alongside other heroes like Green Arrow, I'm paraphrasing here, were present. And then Iris also reported that even other heroes from other worlds like Supergirl. So essentially, to me, that low-key confirms, obviously I can't confirm this like in massive bold letters, but the fact that she segregated like the Green Arrow, Batwoman, that to me says Earth 1, and then the fact that they then stated heroes from other worlds like Supergirl insinuates that if Batwoman was from another freaking world like Supergirl is on Earth 38, she would have included Batwoman after Supergirl, like, you know, Heroes in Other Worlds, like Supergirl, Batwoman, but she didn't. So yeah, that's very interesting. It looks like Ruby Rose's Batwoman will be set in the Gotham City of Earth 1. Now, I honestly actually believe that this is true. I'll hold my hands up if I'm wrong, but that is something that we have already learned from this article, and I think that's really, really cool. You'd have to think that she's from Earth 1. Now, also looks like Captain Singh has promoted to Governor Singh, which is pretty cool. Good on you, Captain Singh. Looks like you're not dying anytime soon, unless that's one of the soft events in a timeline that can be changed. Obviously, the Heroes Lost in Time is referring to the Legends of Tomorrow. I don't really believe at all that they're referring to, like, the atom of, like, you know, Ryan Choi's atom, like, got name dropped in the latest the first episode of season 5 of The Flash. Heroes Lost in Time, you know, reporting that they saw Heroes Lost in Time present again. Legends of Tomorrow, Ray Palmer. But another really interesting thing that people were talking about is the quote of, some even contend they saw Reverse Flash leading an army of shadow demons. Now, this is where everything is getting a bit confusing, and I'll need your help down in the comments below. We'll all freaking work together and freaking type this all out, try and figure it out, or like figure out as best as we can, get some hype for the crossover event. Now, why am I saying crossover event? Well, the upcoming crossover event is called Elseworlds. Now, there were popular theories that this would maybe be a storyline of our characters in actual different, you know, iterations. For example, I keep saying this, but like Batman, Gotham by Gaslight, but apparently they're still our characters. Now, how does this link to the Reverse Flash in this 2049 article that some people were saying or swearing that they saw the Reverse Flash with like a load of shadow demons, you know, leading an army of them? Well, the shadow demons are like the Anti-Monitor's freaking, you know, troops or assassins or whatever have you. So like, it's just all falling in line, and it's just like, what was Elseworlds going to be addressing the 2024 Crisis event? Well, this is where my brain gets a bit all jammed, because the upcoming crossover, which is coming, you know, in December, obviously it's going to be set in 2018. I doubt they're all going to time travel to 2024 when this event actually goes down, and they're all going to address that, like, 2024 plot holy timeliney kind of event now in this crossover. And at the same time, if you are a Crisis on Infinite Earths nerd and you know a bit about it, this whole 2049 article, you know, is reflecting on, you know, the 2024 article. It's 25 years later, and there is so many little nerdy things here, and that is what this whole video is about, really, because we've also got a quote from Psycho Pirate, who claims to have remembered the night's true events, and he said upon arrest, worlds lived, worlds died, nothing will ever be the same. And that is actually more or less, if I remember correctly, quite a direct quote from the Crisis on Infinite Earths, you know, actual comic book storyline. Now, at the same time, guys, you may be thinking, but Boba, wasn't Hawkgirl mentioned in the original 2024 article? And yes, she was. This is just another article 25 years later, so I don't think she's going to write down every single hero. I mean, she did actually mention, like, what there was, some witnesses are saying there were loads of heroes, including the Green Arrow and Batwoman. So you could just say Hawkgirl is still there, you know, was still there even, and she's just not mentioning the name. But then again, Supergirl wasn't, I believe, mentioned in the original 2024 article that we've had all of this time up until now with this new article. So, you know, it's not exactly changing it up, it's just elaborating on it, reflecting on it, just Iris saying different things now, or just upon 25 years later further of knowledge. So I don't know, guys, you have to think that the upcoming Elseworlds crossover is going to somehow factor in, you know, the Crisis on Infinite Earths storyline that will be taking place in 2024. And a bit of an interruption here, guys, from Future Boba. I don't know how I forgot to mention this, because I've talked about it before when LaMonica Garrett has been cast for this role, but we can't forget how LaMonica Garrett has been cast as the Monitor in this year's DC TV crossover event, which, you know, is huge because the Monitor, the Anti-Monitor. So expect some major links from potentially the Monitor or some teasers to this 2024 Crisis event. I mean, the fact that we're getting the Monitor is serious stuff, so, you know, some Anti-Monitor stuff must be teased and dropped. Yeah, at the same time, you have to think, but is there going to be more addressed this year? Because Nora Allen, as I mentioned earlier at the end of the episode, did say that she's going to try and prevent her father from disappearing in 2024 when this whole event goes down. Now, do you think she's going to be successful? Some people have already seen the theory out there that maybe at the end of the season she is successful in making her father return, but that wipes this current version of Nora from existence, and the Nora that Barry knows one day, naturally, through forming a new timeline, obviously with her father there, that timeline won't be the same Nora growing up without her father. So that won't be the Nora we know currently in the show this season. So that actually makes really good sense. I mean, if you save your father and you grew up with your father, you're going to be different. I mean, you're going to be samey, but obviously she grew up with just Iris. She would just essentially erase this version and this season's version as we know of her from existence, and just grow up a little bit differently. But there is one more thing I want to talk to you guys about in terms of an older Barry, a Barry even after this article, which states that he's still missing 25 years later. And this is something we've even spoke about before, just as a fandom in general, because we know Barry goes missing in Crisis in the 2024 event. Yeah. In the Invasion crossover, we heard Barry in 2056, I believe, send a message to Rip Hunter. Now, I've already seen people say this was S.T.A.R in the future and stuff like that. I don't actually necessarily believe that. It could be true, but we did hear an old man Barry. Now, this you could just put down to plot hole. Borderline, underline plot hole. But then again, somehow the writers might think of a really good way to address this. I don't know how, because this is what I mean. This is why I would love to hear from you guys down in the comments below. Since we know Barry's going to go missing in 2024, he's still not back in 25 years time to even, raise Nora as a child. Yet he sends a message in 2056 to the team. Barry Allen sent a message after all of this stuff. So make of that of what you will, guys. But that is the video. I just thought I'd do a little bit of a breakdown of what we learned from the 2049 article, and then throw in some fan ideas there, and then just basically leave the question down to you guys so we can start a discussion down in the comments below, guys. I would love to know everything you think of this. To me, this is really nerdy, kind of hypey kind of stuff. This is what I love about The Flash, and this is why I gave it such a positive review. I love getting back to the timey-wimey, complex kind of stuff, even though it does open the floodgates to a lot of criticism in terms of plot holes. But anyway, let's work together and see what we can try and find out. But anyway, guys, if you liked the video, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that like button, subscribe if you're brand new for more Flash videos just like this. But other than that, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you speedsters in the next video. Goodbye.